Jacksonville might look like a sunny, laid-back Florida city on the surface. But if you're moving here from out of state, there are a lot of things you simply wouldn't know until you've lived here for a while. And that can lead to some real surprises. Things about traffic, schools, the way neighborhoods actually function, and even what locals expect of you when you show up at the beach. So in this video, we're going to talk about the most important things people new to the area need to know before moving to Jacksonville. I'm breaking down everything from commute patterns and beach etiquette to housing quirks, school zones, weather rhythms, and those small local habits that can make your transition either smooth or frustrating. If we haven't met yet, I'm Josh Rogers. I lead the F3 home team right here in Jacksonville, and my team helps families just like yours relocate to Jacksonville every week. We don't just help you find a home. We help you figure out which community matches your lifestyle and goals. So if you're starting to look around and you need a second opinion from someone who actually lives and works here, just shoot me a text. I'd love to help make this process easier for you and find you the perfect home with ease. Now let's get into the video and talk about some of the things you need to know before moving here. 1. Jacksonville is huge, so where you live really matters. This is the #1 thing that surprises most new residents. Jacksonville is the largest city by land area in the continental US, which means living in Jacksonville can look very different depending on where you land. Some neighborhoods are 45 minutes apart, even though they're both technically part of the same city. Because of that, where you choose to live absolutely impacts your lifestyle. If you work remotely but want beach access, you might look near Atlantic Beach or Neptune Beach. If you're commuting to Mayo Clinic, maybe you want something like Pablo Bay or E-Town. The point is, you can't just pick a home based on looks or price. You need to understand where it is in relation to your daily life. Your commute, your kids' school, your favorite activities, and even your family's energy level. That decision alone can determine whether you feel settled or stressed. 2. Beach traffic and parking get real fast. If you're moving here with dreamy beach days in mind, know this. Locals plan their entire schedule around the traffic flow on and off the beach. Fridays after 3 p.m., expect A, 1A, and Beach Boulevard to get packed with people heading east for the weekend. Now add a festival, surf competition, or just good weather into the mix, and things really slow down. Also, parking near Jacksonville Beach can be metered and hard to find. If you're not walking or biking, expect to drive around a bit to find a spot. Many locals invest in annual beach parking passes or get really strategic about when and how they head to the coast. So if you plan to live at the beach, it's worth choosing a home that's close enough to walk or bike. And if you're living farther inland, try to hit the beach early in the morning or later in the evening to skip the traffic. 3. Over the ditch actually means something. When locals talk about the ditch, they're referring to the Intracoastal Waterway, the dividing line between Jacksonville's mainland and its beach communities. And when people say they don't cross the ditch, they mean it. Even though the drive may only take 20 to 25 minutes without traffic, during peak hours or tourist season, it can be double that. Plus, the bridge is open for boat traffic at times, which can throw off your commute. This becomes a factor when deciding where to live. If you work or take your kids to school on one side of the ditch but live on the other, that drive gets old fast. So when you're planning your move, really think about where your daily life will happen and try not to straddle both sides unless you love driving. 4. We don't really have a winter, but storm prep is a must. Jacksonville's weather is one of the big perks. You'll trade snow shovels for sunscreen, and you can be outside most months of the year. But don't get too comfortable because this is still Florida and the weather has its own quirks. In the summer, expect daily rain showers, usually between 3 and 5 p.m. They come on quick, dump a ton of water, and then move out just as fast. More importantly, hurricane season is June through November. While Jacksonville isn't hit as often as other coastal cities, storm prep is still part of life here. You'll want to buy flood insurance if you're near the coast or river, and it's wise to have a storm plan in place every year, especially if you've got kids or pets. 5. School zones are not all created equal. This is a big one for families. Duval County and St. Johns County operate very differently when it comes to public schools. St. Johns County is one of the top-rated districts in the state, and a big reason why so many families choose to live there. Most of the newer neighborhoods are zoned to A-rated schools, and there are lots of options when it comes to charter and magnet programs. In Duval County, school ratings vary widely, so you'll definitely want to look up the school assigned to any home you're considering. Even 2 houses on the same street could be zoned differently. This is something we talk about all the time with our clients, because the last thing you want is to move into a home and then realize too late that you're unhappy with the school options. And listen, if you're already trying to map out which neighborhoods work best for your family and it's feeling like a full-time job, send me a text. My team and I do this every single day. We'll help you zero in on the areas that make sense for your lifestyle and your goals and find the perfect home for you and your family. Now let's go over to the next point. 6. You'll need to budget for things you didn't think about. Florida life comes with a few extras. First, we've got bugs. So pest control is just a normal part of life here. Whether that's monthly treatments for mosquitoes or termite prevention, most people build it into their annual budget. Then there's lawn care. With our warm weather, things grow year-round, so your yard will need attention more often than you're used to. Some HOAs include this, others don't, but either way, plan for it. Then we have insurance. Because we're in a hurricane-prone region, wind and flood insurance can be pricey. It depends on your exact location and the home's elevation, but it's something to get a quote on early in the home buying process, not after you fall in love with a house. 7. Jacksonville has a laid-back vibe, but people still pay attention. One of the things I love about living here is how friendly and down-to-earth people are. But make no mistake, Jacksonville is still a big city, and people notice things. Word of mouth matters here. Contractors, service providers, even real estate agents like me, we all operate in a space where people ask around before they make decisions. So how you show up in this community, whether that's online, in a Facebook group, or at your kid's soccer game, shapes your experience. Be kind, be patient, and be curious. People here are generous with their time and their knowledge, especially if you show that you're here to contribute and connect, not just consume. 8. Life here feels like a hybrid, and that's the magic. Jacksonville's got a unique rhythm. It's not as fast-paced as Miami or as touristy as Orlando. It's a mix of city and small town, beachy and suburban, chill but still growing fast. There's art, food, concerts, breweries, a decent airport, and all the modern conveniences, but without the crowds and chaos of other big metros. You can go from surfboard to golf course to kids' baseball game all in one day. So if you're looking for a lifestyle that's connected, outdoorsy, affordable, compared to most big cities, and family-friendly, this is one of the best-kept secrets in the Southeast. And if you're seriously thinking about making the move and you want someone to help you find the right neighborhood, not just the right house, send me a text. I'll walk you through everything and make sure you land in a place that feels like home from day one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.